In this video, I will present you with the most common strategies that HR technology providers are using to either overcrowd you with information so you focus on misleading content, or their most effective triggers to keep you hooked into their platforms by using fancy KPIs that are of little to no value to actually achieving your objective. The first example is from the 2016 US presidential campaign. If we look at the New York Times poll of polls, they presented us with clever dashboards to highlight how unlikely Republicans were to win the elections. You could easily drill down through the various paths and notice how hard it was for any major surprise to happen. Problem? The data they used was far from being enough accurate to consider diving into that type of scenarios. They were using polls from so many sources that it was highly unlikely they were of any statistical significance. Second example is when HR technology providers present you with multi-level dashboards. The more you drill down into those dashboards, the further you will get from what actually matters. It is like going 5-level deeps into people's minds. Even more troubling is that some companies spend years just in order to reach this operational reporting capability. Best way to avoid this? Start with the right question. For example, how do you measure success of such an initiative? Next example is about maybe the most commonly used business KPI on social networks, engagement. Engagement is defined as the number of impressions that a post received divided by the sum of interactions with that post. Who doesn't want high engagement for their posts? On the left, we have a photo with a lot of text that is not easily readable unless we actually click on it, and this will automatically increase engagement, which is above 4% in this case. On the right, we have an informative post, supposed to actually drive engagement because it presents a new concept through a very easy to understand diagram. However, notice the engagement is actually much lower since users are not constrained to interact with it unless they actually like it. So then, what is the best way to measure efficiency in this case? Simply put, I would recommend using your own metrics, such as how many people contact you after posting this. Last example is about understanding why analytics are widely advertised by all major social networks and websites. If you run a career website, you are most likely tracking your visitors and their behavior. What percent of your visitors are genuine? Did you know, for instance, there is a technique called referrer spam that uses advertising bots with fancy names visiting your website just so you will see the advertiser's name when you check your visitor sources? Facebook has been artificially inflating their video view metrics by 60 to 80% for the past 2 years, as they were factoring all views of at least 3 seconds. Just a few months ago, 2 of Google's main mobile ads metrics have been suspended by a key accreditation service due to lack of reasonable assurance that the ad was actually rendered on the device. Why would they be all doing this? Simply put, these analytics are at the core strategy of every social network to glue you into their service. The cycle is this: triggers when you visit their website or when you receive a notification to do so, action when you publish something on their network, and finally, your reward always comes in the form of analytics. I hope these examples help you to better understand how to strike the right balance between technology and your professional goals. And if you found this information useful, please also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel.